ask what it does.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to our spy game actual play, HEXCRAWL. I am joined by four lovely human beings who have agreed, strangely, to play this game with me. So let's go around, have a little chat with them, see what they've been up to. Because I've been like head down in work this week, so I haven't caught up with people or what's been going on. I've not been checking out the socials, keeping my eye on the feeds and stuff like that. So yeah, let's have a little chat. Start with Noir. Hello, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Having a good time, watching the Republic do stuff. But for me personally, I'm doing all right.
Good.
Let's see. Tomorrow's going to be the finale of my mini campaign, The Lonely Throne.
Awesome.
So that's gonna be fun. Let's see. I We're starting a campaign for Cobalt Press
Nice.
called Into the Southlands, which is going to be pretty fun. And the season just started up for Second City Saviors yesterday over on Critical Misses. And of course, I still have Degrees of Madness going on full on strong.
Yeah.
But everybody that checks that out ends up just telling me they prefer the puppets to me, though. So, whatever.
The puppets are pretty fun. But I
Yeah,
do love your
yeah. Do you
Robot
know what it's
character.
like going up against two adorable puppets? It's not easy.
It's not easy. Have you ever puppeteered? Because what they're doing is not easy. They must be
Oh my
like this for like the entire time. They're oh my god. Because I've done it like theater and
Oh,
bit of film and stuff, and
I've
it's
never
tough,
done any
man.
puppeteering, but kudos to those guys because, like,
Yeah,
after sound check, you can just see them coming up from under the
yeah.
table. And it's weird. The puppet that you've been talking to for 2 hours is just there lifeless, and you forget that it's not. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, puppets are balmy. Like you forget so quickly.
Oh my god, yeah.
Anyway,
But
awesome.
that's
Well,
me.
I'm glad you're keeping busy. Cool. And we have with us back, returned, the one, the only, Susanna Grace. Hello, friend. How are you?
Hello.
Bring us those
I'm
sweet
all right.
praises.
I know, like sick fucking let's have some JoJo shit. Like fucking
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to be back. I had a little 2 week break at the end of last year, but within about 2 days, I was like, I need to do something. So I
Yes.
hit streaming back on Monday,
Mm.
which has been fun. I've been going back to Bloodborne and getting my ass kicked by Papa G, then kicking his fucking ass
I missed
yesterday.
that. I missed it.
I know. Yeah, it was my second run. So yeah,
Wow. Good on you though. That's what I
did
say.
it. Hey, I beat 3 bosses yesterday. I was kind of like,
And there's only been a couple of instances of falling off ledges.
look, look.
Only a couple. I think that's good.
It's like two.
Like two.
All right, just let's just yeah. Anyway, hello. I'm glad to be back. Can't wait to hear about what these lot were up to in my absence. I heard talk of war crimes and drones. So
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know who. That doesn't
Don't know what
sound
you
like any of
mean.
us.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, you'll kind of have to wait. I want to start with Athena and catch up with her, and then head into like first day of talks and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's the kind of agenda that we've got on today. Speaking of agendas, it's the wonderful Mr. Pope Worldbuild. How are you doing, friend?
Doing well.
Good.
Hopefully, the world will be a little more orderly here.
Yeah, just leaving
And
half an eye on the old Guardian newsfeed.
yeah, no, I prefer fires to be controlled. And so does Sherlock. So hopefully, we'll get into it and set some agendas, have some talks. Hopefully, not commit too many war crimes. We'll see what's in the cards.
Yeah, but leave the drone. Leave the drone at the embassy.
What's too many war crimes?
One.
One.
Ooh.
Oh my days! Oh my days! But wait, have you been up to? Have you been up to much more, Pope, this week?
The new year came in with a bang. Uh, no, got to this Sunday. Run Don't Rest Your Head for the good folks over at Colonomicon. and got to torment them. Now I have a command over on that channel where if you put exclamation point Pope, it just comes up with syringes and nuts, because apparently that's my brand this year.
Okay.
You should be concerned. And then I've got a number of things on Simmer, a number of session zeros this week.
Nice.
But this Sunday, if you want to see youthful heroics and someone far nicer than Sherlock, please tune in over on Matev7's channel for Masks Sunset City. We may be punching out a Santa. I do not know.
A sad Santa.
No. Sad Santa, we stand. This one's Mad Santa.
Nice. I like the theme though. That's cool. Cool. All right. And Mask is a brilliant game. I played a one shot of it. I'm just absolutely joyous.
I will say this. I have been playing TTRPGs now for nearly 20 years. I have never felt more the character, and I have never have had a game that has given me so much to do with so little.
Yeah.
I am never overwhelmed, and the gameplay is always rewarding. I always get spoons back. So, like, tune in to whatever Masks show of your flavor and choice. Second City Saviors, Sunset City. These are stories we need right now. Because with
Absolutely.
all you have to do is turn on the news. Right now, we need heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. What a beautiful segue. Speaking of heroes, Flying Serious here. Hello, friend. Hello, Shauna.
Absolutely never.
How are you?
Doing good. I absolutely never play furthers.
No,
Always play monsters.
Can confirm.
Yeah, doing good. It's been
Good.
restful break.
Good.
Trying to get back into the usual grind again, which is actually honestly feels good. But attacking some of the Steam games and just taking some time to do like personal drawing, but it's been nice and getting ready for new session zeros.
Sweet, yeah. You always got to take time to do a bit of practice, get a few sketches in, all that kind of stuff. That's super sweet. Cool. Anything else? I mean, you're playing like loads of Hitman and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like last week. Any more of that, or any moving on to anything else?
A lot of that. Just a lot of like XCOM-ish type games, stuff like that, which are honestly my favorite now. So why I like spy stuff so much it has some of that.
What's the spy isometric game I'm thinking of? Invisible Ink.
Invisible Ink, yes.
Fantastic
Invisible Ink
game.
is great.
Yeah. I didn't figure it out the first time, and then I played it a second time and just like did the whole thing, did the whole run, loved it. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm about to pick it up again and give it a good go. Maybe on the channel or something. That's awesome. Cool. Well, I've been kind of head down in work, so I'll be honest with you, fam. Kind of don't know what I'm doing tonight, even though I have the little notes I made at the end of last week's session. And I've written down properly on the Roll20 the notes about the people we made up last week. Apart from that, we're just gonna roll with the drama and juicy fruits and see where the disaster spies end up, I guess. See, I'm back at Modiphius during the day. Not had much time other than that to to get prepped for this. So here we go, I guess. I want to pick up this week's session first with Athena in a like prelude style thing for the episode, right? So it is the night or like the evening before the talks are about to begin. Tomorrow, Madeline Dixon, the delegates, the EU delegates that you're with, the lawyers, the ambassadors, everybody are going to make their way down to the Zabrovnian like Capitol building, right? You've been prepping for most of the day with these guys about what they want to get out of the talks, how they want to set up their kind of like their red lines or their kind of starting positions in the negotiation. The first day is going to be quite formal and just a kind of establishment of who everyone is and kind of where everyone is positioned in terms of the themes of the actual trade talks. But this evening, you've got an opportunity to freely to kind of make your way around the city, do what you need to do a bit of prep work. Pretty much the other 3 members of the team have been like out and about doing stuff. Sherlock, I think, spent a bit of time in the embassy that evening. He was the one that kind of stuck around the most. But otherwise, Nix was out, casing places. Oppenheimer had been back and forth over lunch, and also I think in the evening, grabbing equipment, new equipment, and and making
Doing a little bit of
contacts and stuff.
tinkering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. You're doing some tinkering in the embassy as well. So it is entirely up to you what you would like to do in terms of your plan, I think, to try and get recruited.
Yeah. So, being a place that thrives on the misinformation, right? Of like that social media, of like the Zubrovnian YouTuber that's out there being like chemtrails are real, and also the government did this kind of, to get their hooks into the people. These kinds of people fucking love live streams.
Yeah.
And Athrena is very knowledgeable about live streams. So this evening, she's gonna head off to a like a cafe somewhere that's open.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna sit there with a little laptop. She's gonna pop open her proxy and she's gonna hack her way into one of these live streams to drop a little "Hello, I'm in the area. You up, babe?" sort of message to the hacking underground community here in Zubrovnia.
Nice. Okay. I feel like we have to bring back the it wasn't waffle, it was like the Danish place. There is a cafe that Oppenheimer has scouted out.
Okay.
That he's managed to make a contact at. Yeah,
best
it's
cheese
like
Danish in town.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So in that kind of northerly quarter where you guys were kind of figuring out that is where more of the tech savvy kind of white collar workers lived and worked. Let's say you've headed up there.
Mm-hmm. And I've changed from when I was Sophie Durand, so I'm in like more hipster clothes now. So it's something that would be more just natural for that area, right? More relaxed, little beanie, little scarf, big sweater. Or I'm not gonna stick out as like this is a businesswoman in a sort of low key area,
Yeah, absolutely. So the interesting thing there is, and I mean, I will bear in mind that you've got hacking tools and you've got little ways to work around things. In terms of your digital footprint and also your identification, like who are you going out as? What kind of devices would you have with you, and therefore what kind of digital footprint might you leave?
I think she's carrying her phone with her, obviously, and her laptop, but she has a series of skins, like those silicone skins that she puts on her laptop for like different covers. So when she's going to like a more punky pop place, it's full of stickers. She's trying more serious. Like she's just got like a plain one. So I think she's got like a little mix of the two. There's like a little live, laugh, love stuck on there somewhere. There's a. I'm trying to look like your average young woman that's going to a cafe to do a little bit of work. While she's having a nice evening coffee. She's working on her manuscript.
Cool. No, I'm like that. Wait, didn't Oppenheimer have this cover? No, I can't remember.
Look, people work in coffee shops all the time.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. Your phone, is this Athrena's phone? Is this like a Hex device? Is this what's her face? Is that your cover's Hex device?
This is gonna be Athrena's because she's not an idiot. She's got it locked down. So it's her, emergency like oh shit, button.
Cool. Oh, cool. That makes sense. And how are you getting to the north end, the cafe? You taking like an embassy car?
Nope.
Being driven? Taking a taxi?
Nope. She'd get a taxi. Oh, public transport might be a good idea,
I haven't
actually.
really thought much about public transport, and for some reason, I suddenly have the... yeah, you've gone all crazy and blurry. They can't tell who you are.
They can't hack me.
You're all blurry. I'm suddenly of the mind to talk about trams. Don't know why. Little tram system.
Hey,
There we go.
I like trams. Yeah, let's
The embassies-
that's the one thing that Manchester does right is trams.
Okay.
Sorry,
The embassy
everyone
is
from
on.
Manchester.
The embassy is on the Enver line.
Okay.
So it's like one of those trams or one of those kind of like public transport trains that you have to get in, and it takes like an age. There's always that one on the end of a stop that just takes forever to get to the next one, and then you're like into the actual kind of system itself.
Yeah, I don't think she gets on the one that's right outside the embassy, right? She walks down a little bit to the next station. She's not, she's a spy. She knows not to get in the bus exactly, where you're staying, because that's a huge red flag. So she'll toddler off to the next one.
Cool, all right. It takes you a while to get to that next stop. Like I say, it kind of goes on forever, and you cover a few blocks before you actually get to the stop. It's much nicer than the stop you passed that would have been taken from the embassy. And you... how do you pay for your ticket?
Athrena carries cash because she paid with cash at the bar for her drink.
Sweet, okay. So for a few, Zabronian sovereigns or whatever they are, you grab a little return ticket to here, or maybe a pass, so it's a little bit
like a day
more
rider,
Yeah. So there's a day rider that could essentially mean that ticket could take you anywhere. So either anyone grabbing that ticket might not know where you've been. It takes the clerk behind the. Oh, there is actually a vending machine version. Actually, the desk is closed this evening, the machine looks a bit defunct and out of order and spits out this kind of slightly graying ticket. It takes the actual little gates quite a few tries for you to get the ticket through, and it keeps popping up, and you're like, this has got to work. You see people passing, and they're just tapping their hex devices onto a reader on the top, and just for a moment you're really worried before the ticket finally, you hear it kind of crank, and then the doors open, and then the ticket spits out to your right. So heading up to the north end, you notice on the train that it obviously gets busier towards the centre and starts to get a little bit quieter as you head to that north end. Various people on their devices, you just catch over people's shoulders. You've got that spy sense, that situational awareness kind of going on as you're heading into kind of cater place, try and actually do some tradecraft. And you spot that they're all watching, there's quite a few people who are all watching a woman. It's like a vlogger, and she looks to be like she's doing some kind of guerrilla reporting on the street. She's got her phone up high, she's talking to camera, there are a few people have got the kind of Russian subtitles on as well, just kind of as they might do when they're on the train. But it's just something to notice that there's this kind of YouTuber, this kind of hex videoer who's making these kind of reports. If you don't do anything technical or don't want to look up the videos themselves, we can reach the north end.
I think she would quickly pull it up on her own phone just to get an idea of who this is, and scope it out as a potential target for her tag, as it were.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you give me an espionage check?
Ooh.
Or I will take infotech, to be fair. Espionage is about information gathering, but because of your skill leanings, infotech's really good.
I can use either because they're both the same, so cool. I'll just use espionage. Yeah. I got a 9.
9, okay. So she's got a popular kind of semi kind of activist, more kind of political, kind of boots on the ground commentator and reporter. She is not that. That's the Interior Minister. She is Olivia Petrova. Hex video journalist.
Do I get an idea of like whose side she's on as she's doing this journalism? Like, is she reporting that the government are doing shady shit, or is she like, look at these bad people saying bad stuff about the government kind of type, you know?
She's more the former, but it's not like she has a singular agenda. You get the impression, strangely, obviously there are a lot of truth sayers in our day and age right now. But it comes across that she just wants to get the story, and she actually wants to report what's going on rather than being tied up in the algorithm or people's political leanings when it comes to the actual press and stuff like that.
Okay.
She is trying to just get to the truth, be moral about it, about kind of what she's reporting and about the commentary she's making. And she is trying to be somewhat impartial as well. So it's less kind of left and right politics and more about well, what do we feel is right? Is this okay to do? Is this not okay to do? That kind of stuff.
Gotcha. All right.
And then as you arrive in the kind of northern quarter of the city, get off at a stop near the cafe that I guess the team has recommended to you. You notice that there's something about the area, that the kind of the cobbled streets, the kind of some of the branding on the shops and stuff like that. Whip out your phone again, and those videos look like quite a few of them have been shot in this area.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely note that this seems to be a hot button place, a place that's of interest. But I'm not going to really act on that right now. I'm trying to be, I'm trying to not look like a tourist, right? When you're in New York, you don't look up because that makes you look like a tourist. So I'm not doing I'm just going to be like, coffee shop. I know where I'm going. And head off there.
Cool. Yeah, okay. I mean, I've got a coffee shop music. Let's do it. Lively cafe. Oh, I could have the down and down spy and the coffee music. That's quite cool.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah. I mean, they've moved. Being a European, being quite a kind of mainland European city, Balkan. I imagine that they've not only got kind of coffee going on, and a lot of people still drinking coffee, and teas and stuff like that, and having pastries and stuff. There's a stage in the corners kind of being set up for a bit of kind of live jazz pretty shortly, and alcohol's being served too. There's a couple of beer taps on. There's a bit of a back bar as well, so you'd be free to grab anything you kind of like here. It's quite lively too. You're starting as the early evening starts to drag on a bit. You've got this vibe of like a mix of business people just coming off of work and they're about to leave, and an evening crowd starting to come in.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna grab a latte from maybe like a little biscuit as well. Just a little treat. And I'll just take them to sit in, and she's doing the whole, I'm just average every day. And I'm going to go sit in like an area that is, where I can get a seat to begin with, but that is maybe a little tiny bit more secluded than just in the middle of the shop, for example. Like I would like my back to a wall so no one can look over my shoulder whilst I am doing the many typings that hackers do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can position yourself in that, and you've got that little back to the wall. You've got a good vantage point.
Big squishy couch with my back to a wall.
Sure, yeah. Grab yourself a little booth. You've got some of the bunket seats against the wall, and there's some normal chairs opposite you, and there's, as I say, a fairly crowded little cafe here. Very popular kind of brand, and while it is a little chain, it's a nice venue for people. And it's been kind of Zabrovnified rather than kept to a kind of much more kind of Western standard. But yeah,
it's great. It's nice.
All right, but you're kind of nested in. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I spent a little bit of time there, just establishing that I am just like you. I am not a spy. As I, sit there, I'll sip my coffee, I'll do a little bit of casual typing, I'm just checking my emails. And then I am gonna deploy my proxy server to my laptop and make it appear as if I am not currently sat in this coffee shop with this said laptop.
Cool. Okay.
And I think Athrena has just proxies everywhere, right? So I'll just pick one at random, just like blip. And
you can appear anywhere effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. She's decided she's in Kyoto, so that's why the proxy is currently in Kyoto,
Cool,
Japan.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try and get my way onto this woman's channel.
Okay.
Uh,
I've not got hacking stats for a YouTube channel or a YouTube server, surprisingly, but I will try and make some shit up. Hang on. I was writing some of these out. I'm positive I was. See, I told you I wasn't prepped. Play me out, Johnny. You're gonna have to go with like I've written a government computer. We'll just do that.
yeah, it's government.
That's
I'm
fine.
hacking someone's computer. Is all I'm doing.
Right.
Because she's probably one of those people. She doesn't have two-factor authentication enabled. She's still logged in on all her accounts on her desktop. So, whoops.
Do you know that is not a hacking tool I put together? Weirdly enough, it sounds like a really obvious one.
What 2FA?
2FA. It's not. It's not a firewall. It feel like it should be. Sure. What am I even looking at? Black House Gaming. I was writing some stuff. There we go. Pre-made devices. Okay. Sure thing. So what you are... I think what you're essentially trying to do is you're trying to get into the Hex like video servers.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever their like YouTube equivalent is. HEXTube, I don't know. And essentially, are you trying to find her account so that you can then get in? And
yeah, so I do have one of my hacking tools is a Fisher for my spyware, so I can send her one of those emails being like, "You've requested to change your password."
Fuck yes, please. That
so
sounds
I can get
awesome.
her account.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Have you got a little boop on the Roll20 for it?
Hang on, let me just find it.
Because I've got.
Oop. That should have done it.
Oh, there's no text really.
Okay, I can read it really quick.
Yeah, that's okay.
Phishing is an example of social engineering attack to a target system or device where the user themselves is spoofed into delivering sensitive information to the attacker. By disguising your spyware as an official communication to a targeted user, you can manipulate them into installing the tool, which allows you to maintain a connection with the targeted device across the internet. You target a user of the device who must make a wisdom saving throw or be fooled into installing the Fisher tool.
Okay. So that involves a bit of her, I think. Fisher is it caliber 2 or is it caliber 1? Oh, caliber 1?
It's a caliber 1.
Alright. You target a user of the device that must make a wisdom saving throw or be fooled. Okay. Oof. I'm just going to take one of my newbies, I think. Wisdom save. 11. What is your hacking save? It should be 8 plus your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier.
8 plus proficiency, which is 11, plus intelligence is 15, so she doesn't make it.
Okay.
Sorry, 14. I can do simple mathematics.
Shush. So can I. Yeah, so she fails that check. So she gets the hex alert that she has, requested to change her password. or something even a little fishier.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the you've requested to change your password. If this wasn't you, click here, and she clicks it.
Yeah. She clicks it. It takes her through to a very simple set of screens of just like, you know, okay, write your information here. Tell us what you want to do. We'll kind of, you know, we'll like lock down your account. All the while, in the background, your phishing tool is being installed onto her like Hex smartphone. And you can essentially get packets of sensitive data from her.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can actually grab her password. You can, you know, grab any kind of cookies and stuff like that she's installed and all that kind of stuff. So you can get some history. You can get stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm fishing for her account names and passwords for all of her like social stuff, and especially her broadcasting tools. I also want to grab any sort of contact that she's had with sources, so emails, text messages, anything like that, any people. Personal information, just in case I have to, you know, pretend that I am her, impersonate her anymore. I'm going to try and take the personal stuff that would get me through a, you know, asking the personal questions thing for the extra security stuff.
Yeah. You get you can get a few odds and ends of those as she's answered those questions in the past.
Yeah.
Previously, and you know, privacy is very important to Hex, but it keeps everything.
Yes.
So yeah. You absolutely can have all of that, and you know how this works, Susie. You invent that shit when it becomes relevant, and it's fine.
Yep. So I've got all that stuff, and I am gonna lock that away in my little encrypted drive that I have on my laptop, and then I'm gonna pop open the streaming software on my laptop. Well, no, I'm gonna create a small video because Athrena, being a streamer, is well versed with various video making things, and the way Athrena, so I've been thinking about this, the way Athrena acts as an avatar on her streams is she has like a an illustration of the goddess Athena, which has a couple of poses in it, you know, like in for example, like Hades. There's like a smiling one, a disapproving one, there's like a fierce fighty one. And there is a software that she types messages in and it reads it out in a robot voice. So I'm going to make a small video that's basically like smiling, waving Athena that's like, I'm in the area, hit me up. That's basically what it is on hers. And
you see dotted around the cafe, right? Once this goes live, see a few people around the cafe either browsing their phone or there's a little ping notification on their phone or push notification, and they pick it up, and then they're like, huh? Like a lot of civilians just like that follow her, just really confused.
And I'm gonna close the second that message goes out. I'm gonna close all of this down and go back to my normal sort of working desktop. That's just like a screenplay that I am writing. And I'm just gonna casually smile and take a sip of my coffee as I see this message spread, and then wait.
Okay. I'm gonna have a little look at some tools here, I think. Okay, so I think we're gonna have a little hacker off. That's what I'm in the mood for. Lots of clicky fingers. Okay. So I tell you what, I am going to grab my newbie again. Ooh. Okay. So, I mean, I critted with some data source. Let's see what they get there. Okay. You're with currently no firewalls operating just now. I think you've got one, maybe. It was the proxy. Let's just double check the proxy. Oh, it's been a little while since I've looked at these. Proxy server accident tree that is located. Oh, yeah, there we go. Located somewhere else, the device is tracked by any piece of software or server is hidden. The proxy server was shown as the origin. Okay. So, your proxy is going to take... what caliber is it? I think you're muted. But the caliber will be the executable slot that it's like plugged into.
I've got that in 1.
Okay. So this deals 6 coding damage to your 5 hit point proxy.
Mm-hmm.
And you see your proxy go down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hacker movie, right? Lots of kind of flashing windows and stuff, and like, you know, the proxy is just like it's like a very graphic representation of your proxy going down. But you can see that now you're no longer located in Tokyo. You are located here in this cafe.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I would like to reverse hack the hack so I can find out where this hacker is coming from. We're gonna do some furious back and forth typing on keyboards.
All right.
I may have to recruit a secondary cafe person to just type for me on one side
like
of the keyboard.
on one side of the keyboard.
Yeah. Like NCIS.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. If there's a hacking tool you'd like to use, let me know. If not, we can look at your... you've got your hacking... I'm going to call them cantrips then. You've got your hacking actions that you can take. Anything you want to do. I mean, bear in mind, you don't have much of an idea just now of, like, the device or the person hacking you on the other end.
So I don't have a hacking tool for this, but I'm going to try and attempt to just see what device is connected to my device if I can, right? Like there's a plausible computer thing that you can do. You know, there's been a new connection to this machine. Let's try and find it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got hacking actions here. Let's just use bypass. So there. All right, yeah. Roll me an infotech check, basically.
Infotech, let's go. Come on, I got like a +6 in this.
Looking for an 11.
How's that?
A 26. Yeah. Okay. This is normally a hacking tool thing of actually finding somebody. Or I think maybe you either have this tool, you know, like the locator kind of tool.
We did get that from from the item requisition right at the beginning.
Yeah. Just for the fun of the show and the crit, I'm going to give you this, that you work out that they are actually hacking from a nearby location, from like it's a kind of northerly direction, and I like whipping up, well, like, you know, fucking hex map opens up for you automatically as you like tapping away on, like, you know, the keyboards and the numpad for no reason, and then like this pops up and it's like a, you know, like a little kind of radial area, little circle that's just pinging, and it's like basically this kind of residential area to the north of you. Okay. So you've like got this location, you've got basically like tit for tat access to this device to try and hack them, kind of thing. 100%.
Can I on their machine open up like a notepad document and just send a message going, "That was fast"?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like a cheeky bonus action. Yeah.
Little winky emoji at the end.
That was fast. Yeah. It says some characters in Russian to you.
Okay. Quickly bring up my hex phone so I can just like.
Yeah, like with the
Google
camera, just hold it
Translate
up,
it, yeah.
the little translation. It's not a perfect translation, but it's like you know, we know the directions of the land, is the kind of rough translation you get.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I send. I send back. Heard you guys are into some shit. I want in.
In English, you get back, if by some shit you mean correcting the problem, then sure.
I just respond with, sure. Shrug.
It says stay where you are.
Okay. I send back another winky smiley, and then I text to the group WhatsApp that we have, being like, hey, so some hackers are on the way to me in this cafe. Just giving you a heads up. Beep.
All right. I think for the sake of continuity, I need to ask Shauna, I need to ask like Pope and Noir. Like, so in the evening, Nyx was she scoping out more of the north quarter?
I think she was gonna wait at that restaurant, see if the interior minister was going to come at that meeting.
Right. So that's a couple of evenings.
Oh, that's a couple of evenings.
To
okay.
come. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a couple of evenings in the future.
But yeah, I'm probably scoping out like various places, trying to just also keeping the eye on that building where the person that was trailing Oppenheimer.
I'd love to place you there because as you're starting to lose a little bit of faith in that that surveillance, it pulls through. Because as you get that message, that same person who grabbed all of that takeaway food earlier comes back out of that courtyard of that big apartment complex and turns to their right and heads back south down the road towards that little cafe, kind of high street area.
All right. She'll and I got that message from Thrina.
From
correct?
Thrina, yeah.
They sent the tail after you. I'll follow. Be wary. There might be more than one. And I'll follow.
Cool. Can you make me your theme roll again? Yeah, you know the where you make that infiltration check and then you add your charisma modifier.
Okay. Yes.
I want to see that. Does Sherlock and Oppenheimer want to get in on any of this part just in this evening? You've all received that message from Athrina that she's got like a contact coming to her.
Ope would probably just say something to the effect of, "Why'd you have to use my cafe? That was my place."
Cheese pastry is too fucking good, dude.
Don't blow it up.
It's a 9.
A 9. Okay. I think I'll actually contest the roll. Let's have a look.
Sherlock sends back. Do you want backup? Or do you have this?
You get a message that says, stay tuned.
I'm getting the sedan.
Okay.
I will be in your area.
No, Dad, I can deal with this myself. No, she doesn't say
Would
that.
this happen to be in drone range?
No,
No,
this
it's
is
on the
this
side
is
of town.
this is more than half a mile. This is the other side of town. Yeah, for sure.
Fuck.
Sorry.
I was just gonna hover over you with some white phosphorus. You know how it is.
With that little mini grenade that just like boop, pops out. All right. So, Popus, are you grabbing and driving one of the sedans, which it would
Yeah.
be fine? You're not grabbing a driver or a bodyguard with you.
No, it's just me. I'm maintaining current cover. So have regular smartphone. But I'm definitely taking some walking stick with me, and a number of zip ties, getting in the sedan, driving casual.
Yeah,
But
sure thing.
I'm making my way to that location.
Cool. Okay. Ope, did you want to hop in, or do you want to hang back?
You know what? If Sherlock isn't opposed, I'll hop in.
Sure, we're going for a late night run for pizza.
It's perfect because all
Sure,
the good
man.
pizza joints are in that area.
Yes.
This just seems to bizarrely be like the cultural and food capital of this capital. Just this little
look.
area.
Okay.
Look, I'm an engineer and I just made something. It needs to go for a test drive.
Don't destroy the food culture of this place.
Well, no. Like, I've been to enough metropoli that no, you have your city center with all your civic buildings and whatnot. There's usually a couple of good restaurants there, but it's usually someplace near but not there that has all the food.
Yeah, that's fair.
And no, it's all there. You have bits and pieces elsewhere, but there is that one section that is just, this is where everyone goes to eat. There may be clubs there may not be. It just depends on the current culture. But yeah, no, making that beeline to, okay, there might be murder, we might just be getting pizza. Let's find out.
Let's find out, right? Yeah, okay. So with them on the way, Nix, you head back, trailing this guy towards the cafe. By the time he gets to the square, the local nightlife has begun to start properly, with restaurant goers. But you get the sense that I think, like we've outlined before, there's not many tourists here. This is more for locals, and then the kind of touristy kind of areas and like bachelor parties are all like in a different section of the town usually. So you trail this guy, local looking, brown hair. This is all properly, this guy is an agent. I think you've made him before. This is proper leather jacket, trying to look inconspicuous, and you've got this kind of thing made. And this is who Ope saw as well the other day. And he very casually, but with purpose, makes his way into the square and is making a beeline for the Cheesy Croissant cafe. Where would you like to position yourself, or would you like to follow him in?
I'm going in. So yeah, Nick's let to go in, but I think she's going to message Athrena. It's like, he'll be coming right through the door, and I'll go in.
Yeah. And that means, I think, Athrena, that you make the guy as soon as he walks in the door. It's like kind of stubbly, fairly short brown hair, kind of leathery, short leather jacket. Opens the door. Couple walks out behind him. He rather inconspicuously takes a look around, and you recognize the the tradecraft. He takes a look around as he's walking towards the counter, and with his back to you at the counter, he orders like half a beer. He orders like 50cl beer.
That's just weak, man. And Athena just takes, she's watching him, but she's doing that thing where, like, you take a sip of your coffee and you just kind of, she's not directly staring at him. She's keeping an eye on him to see what he does next. She's keeping cool. She's keeping calm. She's not giving herself away.
All right. I want to get a sense from Sherlock of how urgently you're driving through the city. Is it
Again,
semi-law breaking territory, or are we just
no. We are not using the alternate lane, also known as the sidewalk. No. We are going about this in an unrushed, casual manner, because this really could just be a pizza run. So we're unless some other message comes from somebody else, we are going to maintain all law-abiding and culturally abiding driving habits.
Yeah. No. Cool. Okay. Fly casual.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So back in the cafe, the guy turns around without really looking directly at you, walks straight towards you, pulls open the chair opposite you, unless you try and stop him with like a leg or something.
No.
And he sits down, cradles his beer, and looks up at you, and he says, "I would say this is a job interview, but I know who you are."
And she gives that big, like, predatory cat smile as she lets, lean forward as you think, but she really, like, relaxes backwards with the cup of coffee in her hand. It's nice to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you. What are you doing here in Zabrovnia?
I'm going on a little tour of Europe, and I thought I'd pop in. Never been here before. I've heard many good things about your... And she picks up this cheese croissant. She's got cheese croissants.
And apart from the cheese croissants, are you enjoying the place so far?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Colder than I expected, but...
That's what everybody says.
Hmm.
Close to the Mediterranean, but always cold.
Didn't bring a big enough jacket, but that'll teach me for next time.
Were you serious about your offer earlier?
And she puts her coffee cup down, leans forward, deadly.
I am not so sure. Your reputation is very good, but I feel like you may need to test.
Oh. And what kind of test are you thinking?
We don't do so much of the regular direct action cracking stuff. It's more gathering, fixing, nudging.
I lean forward again, and that's what interests me. That's what fascinates me. You see,
You cut out there. And you're still muted.
There we go. You know who I am, so you know that I am very knowledgeable in a lot of areas, but there are a few areas that I would love to learn more about. I'd love to learn more about the engineering that you and your people get up to.
Okay. But we will test you first.
Of course, I'd expect nothing else.
Pick a theme. Maybe these trade people that are coming. Yeah. You no doubt have your hand into the access of Hex outside of Zabrovnia.
I may do.
Perhaps you gather all reports, all comments, all people vlogging about what is going on. And once you see the pattern, perhaps you tell us what the algorithm is telling the world. Huh?
All right.
You can see through that. Then we'll talk.
All right. Well, I won't ask how I can reach you. Both can reach each other pretty easily, I'd assume.
That was quick.
It was quick. And she gives him like a, like bordering on flirty smile, you know?
Yeah. Like this turns innuendo-y and then, a bit dark.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just to diffuse the tension a little bit and to blow some cover. Not blow cover, but blow. Yeah. Anyway, to give her that cover that she's not a spy that's doing some intense shit right now.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Why don't you roll deception for me?
Oh no. Okay, that's fine. I got a +5 to deception. 17.
Cool. All
I
right.
definitely didn't pump deception because I have a girlfriend who works for Interpol or anything.
That's true. It's true. I forgot about that. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
And then she sort of leans back and says, "So, can I buy you the rest of that beer, or?"
What do you mean the rest? It's a clip a killer head tonight.
All right.
It's the vodka comes later.
Ah, all right. So I guess the vodka comes once I pass the test, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, nice meeting you. And she's gonna close her laptop, pack it up. I'll catch her around.
And Nix, where are you positioned yourself here? And I can imagine Thrina will kind of, make you pretty quickly as you come in.
She'll see her come in, and she'll take a seat at a booth just within eyesight of Athrina and just make that eye contact and just give a nod like, everything okay?
I'm gonna keep walking past. I'm not gonna physically, because he's behind me, I'm not gonna physically nod in response or anything like that. But as I walk past, I just give a little smile and a wink to Nix to let her know everything's okay.
Nice. And Susie, I want you to roll a perception check for me.
Okay. 5.
Cool. Okay. So you head out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then where would you like to make your way to?
From here, oh boy. Thrina is not dumb enough to go straight back to her lodgings. I'm gonna head to another public place. Go to a bar or something like that, just to make sure that she's not gonna be on her own. So she's gonna be in public. And not going straight from this coffee shop where she's met with hackers to her hotel, because that's...
Yeah, to the embassy, in fact.
Yeah, to the embassy, yeah.
Cool, all right.
Fun fact, don't even do that if you're a spy. Even if you're just a person on your own and you just talked with someone who's a little put you on edge, don't go straight back to your where you're staying, friends. There you go.
It's advice for life, I think.
Advice for life.
Yeah.
Be in public.
Okay. I'd love to bring the band together.
Yeah.
Or a bar venue, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If Sherlock and Op want to meet up. Cool.
Let's find a place that has those oversized pizzas and beer.
It's one of those bars that
Pizza
only
joint.
serve pizzas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they've just got a little kind of pizza oven, and it's literally some Chicago town equivalent. That's just they just get them in frozen, and it's just drunk food, isn't it?
I mean, they try.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, this will do, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
And
So
They're not charging too much, and the beer's good. Okay.
yeah. So around some beers and a deep pan pepperoni pizza, a disappointing deep pan pepperoni pizza. You folks are free to chat, plan a little bit, feedback.
Well, hello everyone.
Salutations.
Hey.
I didn't blow up your coffee joint.
Well, thanks. Thanks. Like, and as he's saying that, he is doing a test run on his boom buzzer. Just getting an aerial view of the bar.
Good question. What's that?
Huh?
Huh.
Oh. Here. It's got glasses, and he lets you put them on.
Again.
You just get drone footage of the bar as
Gee.
it's circling.
Oh God. No shit. That makes me feel sick. Damn.
I
How do you
should've
cope
told
with
you
that
not-
shit right here?
Oh, my ADD helps.
I assume it's laden with explosives and probably will kill us if someone sneezes too loudly. Yeah, right?
Oh no, if I alternate the way I blink, then it'll drop the mini grenade filled with white phosphorus.
The what?
Good. Okay, yeah. So I'd like to introduce you to this thing called the Geneva Convention, Ope. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I think I saw it in one of the Call of Duties.
So hey, why did you let him build that? Just as a quick question, why? Why?
Do you think I'm in charge of anyone here?
I mean,
Don't
out
look
of
at
all of
me.
us, you're the one that most resembles a functioning human being.
I'm functioning,
I'm
just like my
so sorry.
drone is functioning.
I hope it functions.
Like, no.
So-
Yeah, if I'm in charge, something's gone terribly wrong.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That gives me faith in this mission.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, it's going swimmingly.
Well, today
Okay,
has certainly
so-
been fruitful.
Yeah, fill me in. What's been happening? What have you been doing?
Oh, that gentleman that saw you at the bar.
My new best friend. Yeah.
Yes, we apparently are barking up the right tree because he came from the same building. Actually, the same man that was trailing Oppenheimer. So
Cool. So Ope picked up a tail. Nice. Sherlock.
Had a wonderful meeting with one of the security operatives for the embassy. I got a rundown on a number of the local players. So far, what we've got is Havel's definitely up to something. He is trying to move up in the world, but outside of the current political structure. We have a General Medvedik, head of internal security. He was part of the coup, but doesn't have the soft skills to get installed. So he's been put in a place where he feels like he's powerful, but he's not powerful. And if something should happen, well, head on the chopping block. So someone that will take more effort to turn into an asset, but could be. Then there's Havel's exit, or I should say scapegoat, Margita Hartzova.
oh yes, the interior minister.
Yeah. She's a woman. She's part of the Interior Ministry. And I am certain Havel has had his hands in all the controversies surrounding and hounding that woman.
Ah, yes.
So,
A little desperate to retain that power. So, I have made contact. So,
excellent.
maybe there's an asset there.
Well,
Desperate times.
Again, anything in any sort of place that has a coup militarily, The one individual that quickly either becomes an enemy or an ally of the public is the Interior Minister, because they're the ones that help handle the distribution of money, and is the one that usually gets all the grief when sanctions are thrown, because that's not an easy job to keep everybody happy and keep the public fed. So it's usually the position that gets cycled out real quickly, or can make you a rising star, and coup number 2 usually happens. So Havel's definitely set them up to fall.
Okay.
Good amount of leverage.
Leverage is something that needs to be acquired. Another thing is just getting ahead of these talks, which are happening tomorrow. Do not be surprised if Hex becomes a thing, whether that comes from our EU folks or the US delegation. It's going to be something that's on the table, along with the EU's red lines and, more than likely, infrastructure and tech development in the area to support Hex, as well as all the other things about freedom of press, freedom of expression, the line item list. So that's probably going to run into some sort of contention, because I am fairly certain Havel wants to keep this place on some sort of lockdown. Also, why don't you tell him about your friend?
Friend?
Not so much a friend, more of a resource. I met a reporter. She's very nice. I'm an unnamed source now, as well. Here. Blink. And I just send everybody's phone a link to her website and her articles about what's going on in the country. I figured it's nice to have a local on our side,
Nice. Well, I been getting in touch with the media myself. I made contact with someone. She doesn't know it was me, but I have all her relevant information, sources, leads that she may have too. On top of that, I have an in with the people that would be very interested in seeing an end to their activities. They want to test me.
Oh, what kind of test?
In relation to these talks, I have to monitor everything that comes in, press-wise, social media-wise, government documentation-wise about these talks, about how it's being spun outside of the country, how it's being spun within the country, and report to them once I discover the pattern, as it were, what they said.
Okay, we need to control the flow of information to make sure that they don't realize the level of your access. Which means we need to get a hold of official redacted documents and minutes from the sessions.
Luckily for you, I'm the stenographer.
It's just getting it through the filters.
Oh, I know.
But that'll work.
While I'm just sitting here kind of doing a test run with the drone, can I see if there's anybody that's scouting the bar, or just anybody that might be staking us out the way that we stake out people?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So using your drone's camera, make me a perception check for yourself as you're doing a little look around the area.
Hell yeah. Am I good at perception? I'm not the worst. 13.
13. Okay. So you take a look around. You spot a kind of handful of people. There's a couple of police actually walking down the street at one point. There's a few guys drinking out on the street as well. A couple of people coming to or fro. And there's a bar not too far across the street as well that have a few people just outside drinking, smoking, that kind of thing. But you don't see anyone that's kind of, like out of the ordinary.
Particularly suspicious.
Or suspicious, or kind of definitely scoping your building.
Okay. So it looks like we've got everything set. We've all, for the most part, established our covers, gathered our assets, and we don't seem to have attracted too much attention. Go team.
Yeah, no, the thing to keep in mind is all the security, for the most part, in this, and it's going to be around the talks, are going to be military. And that is going to go back to Medvedev. Or locals which are not associated. Now, Medvedev's people, we will quickly find out whether or not they're actually competent. The thing that I'm more concerned about is how Havel's keeping tabs on everything. Because he's going to want to control the spin on this. There's a reason Hex isn't in this country. And it's because Havel wants control. And so he is either going to use his folks in the hacking community, his little cells, to try and keep tabs on things, or he might actually have operatives on the ground. Maybe one person within the talks or the security detail is probably on his payroll.
I think it's safe to assume that everyone here is on his payroll, unless they're one of us.
No, this is far more a stew. It's not even a soup. This thing's chunky because when you get into a coup and things are settling down, things never truly settle down, not for the first decade. There are folks that still have ambitions of moving up. But right now you have a guy who's connected well enough and has those soft skills holding power. But all it takes is enough people to get upset and coup number 2 starts. Havel's getting himself in place. I don't know where Medvedev is in this. And then you have an interior minister who knows she's probably getting set up. So there are a lot of pieces on this board, and there's going to be a lot of separate allegiances. And some of that stuff might come out during the talks, or everyone's going to try and play as though everything's hunky-dory until the foreigners leave.
Mm-hmm.
United front until they get what they want and don't incur scrutiny from the wider.
Then we may have a good opportunity with me getting into their organization.
That inroad is going to pay dividends. My major concern is that this exfiltration job that we're setting up with Havel doesn't involve an exfiltration job to get you out.
No, but I don't think you should worry about me too much. I'm like a cat. I always land on my feet.
That only works at a certain distance.
It doesn't necessarily work if the cat is shot.
Look, all I'm saying, I've been doing this for years now. I haven't been shot yet. I'm
It's
careful.
the first time for everything.
I just want to cut to 2 episodes in advance where I'm shot and dying on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
But keep in mind that there's a lot of people who want a lot of things that are going to be at crossroads. Try and make friends, keep your ears open, but also be ready for anyone and everyone to knife you in the back. All right?
And Athena smiles and she says, if only you knew what my home life was like.
This pizza's awful. As he takes another bite.
Either of those are an amazing line to finish on, as thematically for the campaign, what I'm trying to do is put little kind of news reports and stuff in. So we're going to cut to a kind of an American morning news anchor, or it's the kind of, one of the morning newsy type shows. And they have a mention and a report on, just a mention really rather than a report on what's going on as you guys greet a new day in Zabrovnia. And the anchor, blonde man, bad fake tan, reads from the teleprompter. Trade Representative Madeleine Dixon met with Zabrovnian government in a historic trade delegation earlier today. The troubled European country has been struggling under joint EU and US sanctions for its history of poor personal freedoms and strict social media and hex censorship. With access to such a vast network restricted, negotiators are bound to demand a more free and liberal attitude to its hex users, and those restrictions being lifted, a key talking point of the initial talks. More on this story as it develops over the coming days. And we will crash zoom cut to wheels of the sedans all moving in convoy up to the Zabrovnian capital, kind of ironically called a palace, but it's more of that kind of Soviet architecture of kind of harsh, right angle lines and lots of kind of blocky architecture and kind of very tall kind of windows and stuff like that. As rehearsed with the bodyguards, as you've all been briefed to do so, one by one those sedans pull up, doors are opened for you, and then first the trade representative, Ms. Dixon, is let out of the front car, and as each of you exits your car on the same side, and you have to hop over the seats in some cases, the first thing that hits you is the flash of cameras and the kind of mix of Russian and English cries for comment, for, Miss Dixon this way, all that kind of stuff, as there is a kind of gaggle of press and reporting people who are there at a kind of picket line for those. Having a little look over, if any of you do spot ops contact. What's that ops jobs? Olivia Petrova. She's kind of, smooshed in the back in the middle a little bit, trying to get her phone camera over the crowd a little bit. But behind you, up the steps, in rather kind of military fashion, are essentially what looks like a little series of generals. These are effectively the kind of upper echelons of the government, the ministers, and they are here for that photo opportunity. And choreographed, orchestrated, Madeleine with the Zabrovnian president, Alexandrov, takes that photo opportunity. And on the steps of this palace, it is that typical shaking of hands, looking at camera, taking that photo op. That's what's going to be in the papers tomorrow morning. It's what's going to be online in a matter of minutes, and it's probably broadcast live across the limited Hex network that Zabrovnia has. And then the actual work of this delegation takes place. You're all escorted through quite a few steps behind, a good 15 feet or so behind the kind of heads of this negotiation, Madeleine and her EU counterpart, as you're escorted through what is strangely inside a very kind of plush interior that is more akin to a palace. Some marble flooring, some Soviet paintings on the wall, some historic kind of pieces, and almost looks like a museum at times, as you're given a kind of courteous tour in Russian, first of all, but there is a translator for the Zabrovnian side, as the rest of the talks, on your side at least, will all be in English for the EU and the US. And then you slowly make your way towards the office block that Nix found herself in the other day, picking up the records and trying to make contact with the Interior Minister. And these look like somewhat run down, basic kind of office buildings. So they've got signs for the various departments in Russian if you get the translation out, or if you speak Russian for, for the Interior, for the Foreign Office, it's got all the different departments are actually here in a building just off the side of the palace itself. And you're escorted up to a large kind of boardroom with the entire delegation. And after a couple of certified photographers are invited in to take a couple of photos actually inside, you are all finally left alone and invited to sit down. And so the negotiations begin. So Athrena is is like taking the notes and the minutes.
Stenographer.
Okay. Sherlock is there aiding Ms. Dixon. Nix, what was your role you picked again?
Also an aid.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So you've got those documents you needed to pick up the other night, and you've got various bits and bobs on tablets and laptops that you can actually help give to the lawyers and the kind of regulators and everything that you've got here too. And Op, what was your picked role again? I think you're muted, friend.
I said, I think I'm one of the people actually doing some of the negotiating
Okay, nice.
for France. So I mean, it's the first time you guys see that Op comes in a suit, cleaned up, looking pretty nice.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Cleans up well.
Yeah.
He walks past the door and she's like, "Qu'est-ce que ça va? You alright? Like, what is happening to you?"
Sorry, I do not know you, ma'am.
We work in the same department. How do you not know me? We worked together for 3 years.
I have lots of aides. You understand. I don't know everyone by name, but please make sure that you keep track of the minutes, eh?
That is very
And you get a very French tut in
That
response.
entire exchange was very French, right? Yeah. So more on the kind of regulators and lawyers kind of side of things, as the main negotiation will be with the actual main like representative and the counterparts for the Zbrovnian side. The Alexandrov is like nowhere now to be found. He's had his photo op and now he's buggering off to enjoy his palace or whatever. And so the negotiations start. Okay, so I would like a group check, please, based on what you are up to, because I want you to try and keep this cover going. So we're looking for 10s all round, and this is a group check. Majority succeeds, we're okay. So we're looking for like at least 2 or 3 out of 4. So Athrena Infotech, I guess.
Yep.
Doing that stenographer stuff. Op, I mean, this is a persuasion or deception check for sure. Sherlock could be the same. Also could be something more in kind of intelligence based or espionage if you're using that kind of more like information, a bit like Nix using that kind of information to...
This will be espionage.
Since I actually do this for a living, can I make an argument for espionage?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What's the argument though? I'm interested now.
The argument is I'm doing what I actually do for a living,
Yeah.
but for a different reason that I'm presenting. Not quite lying. It's just kind of double talk.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. All right, now I like it.
There we go.
Oh my god! Wow. Okay. And Nix, what do you like to use in terms of how you're approaching the kind of cover?
She's approaching this cover in the way that she uses her others, just do enough of the job and appear not memorable, just like somebody on the you just kind of walk past.
This feels like a deception or like an
Yes, it's deception. Yeah,
yeah.
She's doing enough of the job. This isn't like she's doing it, but this is mostly just character work. Like make sure to do the right movements.
Yeah. It looks like you know exactly what you're doing. Yes, 25. Very high rolls there, friends. I love that. Nice. It's always good when that happens. So I am not knowledgeable about trade negotiations. I'm not even going to try. But basically, I'm not even going to try roleplay out. But basically, the Zbrovnia position to begin with is obviously they want the embargoes and the sanctions that they've had lifted. This is what we're coming to the table for. And interestingly for Sherlock particularly, is that the first thing on the table pretty much is about food. It's about agriculture, it's about import and export in and out of the country of all those kind of goods. And they would like it essentially tariff-free. That is the position they're starting at. I mean, so this is, this would be a very key deal in terms of this, because they'd only enjoy something that, say, I think Canada now enjoys with the EU, but something like Norway, Sweden, that kind of thing. It's a hard thing to sign up for with the EU, as we Brits now know only too well, as what came with membership of the EU. But obviously, they're interested in US markets while they are a landlocked company. So they're also kind of, they're interested to hear from the US side about how that could work, about maybe how air freight could work, or once they've got access through the EU, how they could ship it out to the United States. Because they're quite near the Med. It's kind of the Balkans, just north of Greece, so it's not too bad for them in terms of getting stuff shipped over. The EU and the UK's starting position is basically that they are interested in talking about lifting these sanctions, but that any trade needs to have regulatory alignment. Can you guess what's been on the UK news recently? In regulatory alignment and a better alignment with the European Courts of Justice. That's particularly the European Union's standpoint, and the US particularly Madeleine is citing. It's interesting because she cites that what she wants to hear more positively is more movement or more progression on civil liberties, and like you were saying earlier, Pope. And what's interesting is the delegation on the other side, the Dubrovnian side, is taken aback a little bit. And they would actually ask the delegation politely for what kind of evidence, what kind of social injustices are being perpetrated by the country and stuff like that. So that in itself takes Madeleine Dixon aback a little bit, and so she makes the notes. She asks you, Sherlock, in particularly, to gather a little bit of background research, reports, that kind of thing. I'd imagine this little bit, as there's a huddle on it on both sides, this is maybe something that catches Athrina's attention. Madeleine is essentially looking for that dirt, that kind of, what has there been.
Yeah.
My briefing has been that, they're not a nice country.
Yeah.
But now they're just asking us for kind of evidence. Like, okay, fine, we can. This isn't some kind of kangaroo court, but if they actually want kind of where our stance is on civil liberties, then maybe we should be actually looking into it.
All right. We'll do the easy thing first, and then we'll improvise from there. So, first thing to do is to hit up the usual suspects: Amnesty International, UN, Human Rights Watch, all those folks, to see whatever reports they have on Dubrovnia and whatever, terrible things they have.
Yeah.
Then we'll dig deeper and possibly use some of Sherlock's background.
Just look a little bit into some of my notes as well now. Okay. So that's the kind of gauntlet that's laid down towards the end of the day. After there's that is essentially like the top line summary. There's a lot of establishing those kind of positions, but also from a legal framework, from a regulatory framework, all of that kind of stuff. So it's very convoluted, very complicated, and so it takes the day to kind of establish those positions that the two sides are coming from, so that then they can make some ground, look at compromise, look at where they're willing to look at where the red lines are, look at where they're willing to move on, that kind of thing. And so essentially, you make good work of keeping up the cover that day. Op surprising everybody, being one of the main delegates as well. From the civil service side, on the French side. And then once the kind of working day is done, and after there have been oh my god, I didn't see that emote. Once there's been a few drinks with the team back near the embassy, there's like a local bar to the embassy that they frequently hang out with. It's a bit like Brooklyn Nine-Nine's bar, they kind of go to the same place all the time, kind of thing. And it's the whole team. So the bodyguards, while they have a drink, they're still a little bit on watch, but they're quite happy that kind of nothing dodgy was going on. Even though that you still saw that pretty much the security around the palace and even around the office building was basically the army. It wasn't so much either a law enforcement branch or like a civilian security contractor. It was guys with AKs, and they was walking around. So they're very happy that things went smoothly today. And now that you've had the drink, now that people are heading back to the embassy, you guys are free to do as you like. What would you like to get up to? And by all means, have a chat if you want to plan a little thing.
Well, I think Athena in the bar while we're having the drink will be, she'll be present and she'll be, cheery as Sophie Durant. She'll be cheery and like participating, but she'll also be checking all the Hex socials just to, get her finger on the pulse of this first day. She's checking all the news aggregates. She's looking at socials. She's, she's doing the She's doing the whole shebang.
How are you casting that net? Are you looking for any I guess any country or any kind of political leaning in particular, or are you trying to get as best an average and aggregate best of as many opinions as you can?
Yeah, I think initially she's trying to cast that wide net just to see, she's looking at, there's news aggregate websites and stuff. Like she's and blog aggregates and stuff like that. So she's going to look at those to begin with, just to get the most broad thing before she narrows in, before she starts looking at people who are more political leaning, that are adding their own commentary. She'll even watch like the YouTubers that are like, they're being like tinfoil and 5G, she'll look into them later on, but at the minute in this bar, it's the wide scope.
Sure thing. Roll me an espionage check then.
Espionage.
Perfect one.
Nope, that's hacking tools. Wrong button. Espionage was 12.
Okay. So I was looking at this in terms of a little bit like degrees of success, like kind of 5, 10, 15, but more kind of 5e. So with 12, it's like it's a 10. There's a threshold, so it's a couple of degrees. So it's like you get a fairly good scope on the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it today is very informative and quite hopeful. That alone is interesting to you, I think. That there is not very much negative press about the kind of, do we really want to be doing deals with these people? Do we really want to be, shaking hands across the table kind of stuff? Mm-hmm. It's all quite hopeful, and it's all quite, I would describe it as bringing back to the fold. And you can make what you want of that.
Okay. Duly noted.
That's the kind of vibe check you get.
Yeah. It's that. Do you remember the early days of Brexit?
Yeah.
It was like, maybe it won't be that bad. Yeah, okay.
Cool. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, swiftly moving on from disappointed Brit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. And I'll probably spend my evening doing that. Right. I'm gonna hunker down on this test because I want to get that avenue, that inroad with the Baddens.
Yeah. Sure. Ope, last week you said to me you wanted to re-engage Petrova, right?
Yeah.
I'm chatting with her, and she's also relying on you as a contact, as a source. So to keep that relationship up. How would you like to meet? Or would you like to meet? Would you like to just do this remotely?
So in the midst of the proceedings, I would take video clips of some of the more juicy moments, something that I think would get her clicks, nothing too detrimental to our cause. And I would just, kind of blink a few times and send that over in an anonymous email that's set up in these bad boys.
Yeah.
With a winky emoji. The other thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to start building a profile on everybody in the proceeding.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna kind of take a picture, let it do its quick heads up display thing of their socials, and just check it away for later.
Yeah.
So I could start to feed Athrena that information so she can do a deeper delve into who we have here in their relationship. Relationship to Hex. Then after that, yeah, I think I would send her a message, coffee, or just a coffee emoji, and a time, and I'll make my way there.
Yeah. You're heading back to the cafe?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
I mean, honestly, it's more for my desire for fruit stuffed croissants than anything.
And as you're ordering your croissant, you hear her voice as she comes up next to you, behind you in the queue, and she says, "Interesting day."
I'd say. Get anything good?
It is going to be hard to anonymize this. Although there is quite a few people in both delegations, any leaks like this, I think will be seen. There'll be more scrutiny on the likes of you.
Most likely. That being the case, perhaps you don't have to use what was shown. Maybe you could just tell me where I should start digging.
Oh. Name. Let me get a name. So she gives you the lead delegation name. I'm going to say in my English method. I mean, I don't know how the C is pronounced of that.
Like a ch?
Jimmy?
Journey?
Chimichanga?
What is an RN? Churney.
Churney.
Method
Okay.
Churney. And so he is the lead delegate for it. She thinks her sources indicate that he was appointed.
Mm-hmm.
He is the second person to be appointed to lead the delegation. The first didn't favor so well, and he Method has some connection with our head of communication. Yeah.
Okay.
The Dr. Havel. Dr. Havel is senior communication aide to the president. Now the president appointed the delegation, but there is speculation that Havel had a hand in picking the delegation. Havel had a hand in many things.
Now that does seem like something worth digging.
That might help.
I think it will. Thank you very much for the information. I'm gonna be a little bit more clever with the footage that I send you.
Yes, I wasn't planning on using it, just that it was difficult to anonymize the content, what was being discussed. As I say, any leak is going to be more scrutiny on you.
Absolutely, and I'm not ready for things to go wrong just yet.
No, good. I still want information. I don't want you to be booted out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have that happen. Well, as always, it is a pleasure. Coffee's on me. I just leave some money behind. And I am going to take the voice memo recording of everything that we just discussed and send it to the group.
Cool. Nice.
Because I'm always recording.
Oh.
Even when we did karaoke?
Especially when we did
No!
karaoke.
That was streamed live to the internal Umard like chat channel, like a Slack channel.
That's why Twitch things got pulled from the internet.
You never try to hit that high note and don't stop believing. I told you, but you got brave.
So how does the message find everybody else? What are folks up to? Maybe Nyx, Sherlock. Because Nyx, you're meeting with the Interior Minister. She's out of town, if I remember rightly, and we're going to do that like the next day from now. So tomorrow from now.
I think she's probably just trying to make notes on the staff that was around the talks. Like, I think for her priority in her job was to just kind of get tabs on all the staff and see if anyone's being a little too attentive, anything out of place, like anything that she would know would be a tip off as someone is paying too much attention to certain things.
What's like? Are you looking for like a mole in your own team, or like
no,
delegation on the opposite side?
The opposite side, like someone.
Well,
someone doing
I was about to be found out.
No, someone. She can find you anytime she wants to, so it's fine. But no, she's looking for like our opposite number on the delegation, like anyone else that is intelligence.
Okay.
Let's kind of do a similar thing.
Okay. Roll for me. Perception, I think.
Perception?
Insight.
Insight, okay.
Yeah.
17.
Okay. So what was the word, Susie? What are you doing? The stenographer you did this.
Stenographer, yes, that word. Yeah.
on the other side, there's something about her that's just a little bit suspect. there's not as much typing as Athrena. Although that I can imagine that what Athrena does is more to enhance the notes, provide a little bit of context, or there's kind of notation stuff going on. Whereas the mainstay of it is it's going to be more voice to text kind of stuff because tomorrow tech, woo. Whereas it's like when you know someone is like, I don't know, browsing the internet rather than taking notes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a certain
there's a look about it, right?
intent.
Yeah.
Like the amount, the tempo of typing doesn't necessarily match at certain points.
Yeah, there's that slight distracted look now and again.
All right, it might be something, it might be nothing, but I think what she's going to do is she's going to on our UMAD little like text thing, she's going to point out that person to both Oppenheimer and Athrena. They're more the infotech people, so if maybe they can find anything about this person. So just leave that this person is the other stenographer is there's something off.
Rena texts back immediately. I knew it. Her nails are too long.
Yeah.
Can't get the WPMs with long nails, friends. You gotta trim those babies. Yeah, so Athena's like, yeah, of course, duh. Because that's just who she is.
Okay. And then Sherlock. How does the message find you? I was thinking back to this. Yeah. So Ope set the group this thing of the lead negotiator, Cherney.
Yeah, it shows him but second to get the position.
Yeah, replacing effectively the first, and this has basically been kind of said through some sources or through some conjecture that he's just been kind of placed there by Havel, basically through the president, because the president appoints them.
Yeah, no, that there's a pin in that as we're building our conspiracy board. But right now Sherlock's a little preoccupied with, okay, so Havel's probably scrubbed a lot since he's gotten in position. So I need to go through first the normal channels to try and dig up dirt on human rights violations. And then if there's nothing there, I need to go and do that thing that I'm not supposed to do, but I do on the regular, which is we have in the backgrounds and secrets for our good Sherlock that he has access to government secrets far more than he should. So go through, see what the CIA has on Havel, see what the CIA has on Op4 operations within Zabrovnia.
Okay. Yeah.
Also dating before the coup, because we're going to do a little history lesson here. Because getting thrown off that hard and having that much of a pass, something doesn't add up.
Yeah. Essentially, with the inclusion of the secret, which I really like, I'll give you this. I mean, so going through the normal channels, a lot of the, and it is kind of conjecture about the civil rights kind of violations, anything like that in Zabrovnia, are in reports that are basically phrased in the way of, we're concerned about it, with not a lot of substance. And then as you look through CIA info about any Zabrovnian act against their people. There's a lot centered on the coup and about figuring out that and the movers and shakers of that. But in terms of what they were doing afterwards, the only other thing that really crops up is about possible restricted access to Hex by that department that Havel leads, by that like essentially little propagandary arm. And that's what they conclude it to be, basically, is Havel and Co. manipulating Hex information, manipulating messaging, paying for political adverts that look grassroots but aren't, stuff like that. All the stuff we've been warned about,
Mm-hmm.
fixing elections, fixing votes, stuff like that kind of stuff when it comes to trying to inform people, trying to shape people's opinion of stuff.
Okay.
And that's an issue. But there is nothing else.
Okay. Time to be bad. So, in that case, we need to do a couple of things in order to really get this ball rolling. First things first is to, I've got access to things that I shouldn't have. Time to manufacture some things.
Okay.
I want to forge a series of abuses done by internal security. So since they've already designed a fall guy, might as well use them.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm going to, pretty much do this since there's this upheaval within the more rural areas.
Mhm.
Have it so that maybe some farmers and some folk that came to the capital to try and air their grievances had just been disappeared by the government, and specifically internal security. So it wasn't handled by the military. It was all leads back to our fall guy. All goes back to Medvedik. And have that as the big one. Let's turn up the volume on that and have it's like young husband and wife couple, and now that the kids have gone missing, they're assumed to be with like a great aunt or uncle that we can't locate, and then a couple of other similar sort of stories. Have it really spin that they're oppressing the rural communities while we're creating this sort of stratified city-based social elitism. And then have this entire thing, because I want to have this little thread of Havel helping Medvedik in quashing any sort of news. I want to make certain that those two are thoroughly tied in these briefings.
Okay. Yeah. Are you doing this yourself, or are you bringing in anyone with some more technical expertise?
I'm proficient in forgery.
Okay. Nice. Make that check for me then. I think this is going to be intelligence based.
Okay.
From the detail you've given me and the thought process kind of behind it.
All right. So. $14. Nice. Okay. This is false reports of civil liberty violations. Soon as these docs are logged and backdated within internal servers in the US,
Yeah.
want to access with a computer within the embassy these docs, so they have that electronic trail. And then I want to forward them to Op.
Mm-hmm.
And go, got something for your reporter.
Yeah, so that's whisked over to Oppenheimer. These, like, false reports that Sherlock's been cooking up.
Oh.
Got these. Since they're playing surprise, this looks dirty, so go ahead and send those to your friend.
Say less, wiki emoji. And I send it to my reporter.
Cool. Yeah.
Where you at? What you getting into? He says that to you, Sherlock.
Oh, Biz Dixon needed me to find things. I found things.
Y'all doing any killing yet?
That's when things go wrong. Nothing's gone wrong yet.
Dope. Wiki face. Hashtag stay on the grind. Hashtag stay winning.
And now that that's disseminated locally, just gonna try and I'll bring up Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
Since I know the details of the report, I'm just gonna have Alfred keep a updated search for when details of those files come up.
Yeah.
Follow the spread.
Yeah.
And then once it starts to go externally,
Mm-hmm.
I want to anonymously forward those documents and some of these stories to my US contacts in the press and have them start going through things.
Wow.
I don't care if the story's false. I just want the story.
Yeah. Based on Sherlock's. This might form a little part of my next session's news story. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, he confirms with a curt English, of course, sir. And sets the Google alert going. Perfect. Okay. We've got the evening, folks, for any other shenanigans, as the report is going to slowly disseminate. Any other plans just now? Obviously, I know Nix wants to meet up with the Interior Minister tomorrow evening. But anything else you want to be getting up to just now?
I'm not wanting to draw a huge amount of attention to myself, so I think Athrena has her polite drink as Sophie does what she needs to do with regards to checking her news aggregate, and then she's probably gonna kick it to bed early for the night. But just be on standby though, just in case there's a disaster and they need her stun gun, because that's all she can do. She might do a little low-key stream of something, you know, like a no camera, no mic stream.
Just in your room.
Yeah.
Just on the device.
Playing like something on the just playing something in bed.
Yeah, for sure. Anyone else?
I've got to at least print up and make all this look incredibly official and drop it off to Miss Dixon.
That's true. All right, with printouts and binded laminates and all sorts of stuff.
It looks super official.
I would like to set up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, go on.
I would like to meet my reporter friend one more time, but before I meet her, I would like to have my drone very high in the sky.
Sure. Yeah.
Ooh, did I freeze? I think I froze.
Yeah, you're good. We can still hear you. You're still good.
Sorry
now.
about that.
You're back.
No, you're good. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just want my drone in the sky when I meet her. It is going to be a very short meeting. I just want to ask, how quickly do you think you could have that story out and ready?
This is big. It is late. I can break it tomorrow. How about that?
Okay. That's all I needed to know. That works perfectly.
Okay.
That's it. I just wanted to... The person that I got this information was very insistent that I see when the wheels will be put in motion. That's all.
What is going on? Is this some kind of setup for the government?
I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we are going to find out. Look, just have the story ready as soon as you can. And then I am going to, again, leave some money for her to get some coffee or a beer. I'm imagining it gets a little bit later.
Yeah,
and
mean,
I
it's
am
quite
going
late
to
now,
duck
so,
out,
yeah,
and I'm going to follow her with the drone. I want to see where she goes. Yeah.
Okay. Are you just trying to get a make on her, like where she lives, or more if there are any other contacts she meets?
Where she lives? Yes, I want all the smoke. I want to see if she's meeting anybody else with information that I give her, and then I want to find out where she lives, like a creep.
Okay.
Don't do this in real life, people.
So, in terms of the drone, it's got like a half-mile radius. I think. Oh, you've spent all your tech points on the drone, haven't you? That's right.
Mhm.
I was going to say because you could have used some of the precision techniques to like extend the range and stuff like that. Okay. So you will need to keep within a half mile of her.
I have one tech point left.
Oh, okay. You will need to keep within a half mile of her. As you kind of wait. Well, I don't know. Do you want to wait, or do you want to be kind of walking along almost kind of with the drone, so that you're not in line of sight of her, but the drone is, but you're essentially trying to keep up with her pace? Or do you want to stay put and just let the drone track her? What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's. No, I'll walk with it, just making sure that I stay out of eyesight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow, but keeping out of eyesight and just letting the drone do most of the work.
Yeah. With that kind of range, you absolutely can stay out of sight from her. But yeah, so she walks quite briskly, and you keep pace with her, and the camera stays on her, obviously. Before she gets on the nearest like tram line station, and she taps herself in, and she heads on to that. Roll me a perception check, just to keep up with her. Just at that station interchange, there's a difficulty of figuring out if she gets on this train or if she waits.
Ooh, awesome.
Or stuff like that. So make me a perception check. Just DC 10.
Come on. My internet is really bugging.
You might be a little bit
here, I'm
delayed
gonna
as well.
roll a physical die because my roll 20 is acting goofy.
That's okay.
I get a +2 to perception, and I roll a 14.
Okay, nice. Very
Yeah, I
nice.
think so.
Yeah.
I might need to restart here. I have no idea what's going on, but I got a 16 total.
Cool. All right. Nice. I think you are quite a bit delayed there. I think Noah maybe. Okay. So she you managed.
Okay, now I hear nothing.
Oh no. Oh no.
Cool.
The Hex isn't with us today. Are you good?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Great. Okay. At least there's not a big lag. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So you with the 14, it's good. You managed to the drone just gets an angle on her as she gets into the train. The thing now is trying to keep up with the train. The drone probably can, but depending on where she gets off, you might lose. You might lose the drone. It might actually then kind of lose control of it essentially.
All right, so my game plan for this is to just get on like the last car of the train that she got on.
Okay, you got
and
to
have, huh?
You got to dash for it, my man. Make me an athletics check.
Oof, that's not good. Athletics. Shoot. Okay, what's my athletics score? That's probably very unimpressive.
Because you were staying quite far behind. This is a full-on Tom Cruise dash toward. You needed the 15, my friend. That is you. This is so marginal. You stop at the barriers. You're tapping your covers hex device. Come on. It beeps you through. The little doors open in front of you, and you fucking leg it onto this train. And just these tram doors are starting to close. You just make
that Tom Cruise run.
Yeah. You just make it through that gap and just manage to get on the train. And there's a kissing couple on the seat who are kind of broken out of it and are like, what the hell? Because it's getting quite late.
Get back to it. Good on you. Happy Christmas.
And then the guy's kind of shouting at you in Russian. But yeah, he just kind of like, what the hell? And and then you head up the train a little bit. I'm looking through. It's got some of the London Tube style doors where you can actually see kind of through the train with little windows, so you can just about make her out midway through the train. A couple of carriages along, you think you spot her, and the drone flies over, and you've got that beautiful, almost GTA style cinematic view of the tram going along.
I feel like such a creep right now. Yeah, let's do it.
So you spend most of the rest of this evening late into the kind of you can get the last train home kind of thing, but she does make a change into the kind of poorer kind of east end of the city, and then she makes her way to an apartment block, for sure not the one that you guys were scoping out previously. She just makes her way into her own apartment block, only a few stories tall, not too big, but it is quite a poor area, and then she just heads straight home essentially from what you can see.
And so I get that address.
Yeah, you can log the address. You know where she is.
Okay, cool. Well, she's not snitching on me or not doing so directly. I'll have to have Athena tap her lines. All right.
Susie eyes.gif has arrived again.
I know, right? Do this for me, Athena. So then I just take the last car home.
Cool. All right. Any last little bits from I'm keen, Shauna. If you've got anything, let me know. Anything more from Susie as well? Let me know. You're doing your last little stream, aren't you? But no, nothing, Shauna. No. Cool. Okay. No worries. What we can do then, because we've got a little bit longer, but I don't have too much really. If you want, Shauna, we can skip ahead a little bit to, I guess, that meeting with what's her face? puts over. But I mean,
Oh, but yeah.
it's this kind of dissemination of the story and the report that you're going to present to them in the delegation tomorrow. I guess is quite important. I mean, we can have a short scene for sure with Sherlock, maybe presenting it to Madeline, who staying up quite late. Typical kind of West Wing style scene. She's got a whiskey in a low light, and she's doing some kind of midnight reading up on stuff.
You have set the scene beautifully. I can already see it. Like, there's the desk with the green lamp.
Yep.
And there might be one standing lamp in the corner that's on incredibly low light, leather chairs. Got it.
Yeah. And she's like bent over the desk, like poring over these documents and taking sips of whiskey now and again. No, I don't know what that is, Susie. What, bro? What are you doing?
Never mind. Never mind. That was. So she's got a couple buttons undone. She's got the sleeves rolled up. She's got that like lean on one knee kind of thing, and she's reading papers. Yeah, I've seen West Wing. I know what's going on.
Yeah,
there you go.
No, just like opens the door, sees that they're paying attention, just raps on the glass. That's probably of this office door.
Oh God, what was your real name again?
Chester.
Yeah. She invites you in. Chester, come on in.
Does that like soft closing of the door. Walks in with the folder. I had to go through unofficial channels to get this, but there you go.
She flips open the manila folder, pores over the documents, even pores over the well photoshopped kind of evidential photos.
Yeah. There's a reason they were upset and surprised. This is being covered up internally as well.
But that means that presenting this tomorrow won't really work. Unless we can convince them of what's here. And she's flipping over the last, few pages.
It really depends upon who your counterpart's really working for. Is he working for his country? Or is he working for Havel? You'll find out real quick.
Havel, well... But Havel has been loyal to the administration since the beginning of the coup, no?
Oh, he's been quite loyal. But American history is riddled with coups. And one coup often leads to another, especially when there is someone who is helping a coup who's a foreigner. Havel's not a national. He helped this coup happen, which means he probably has plans for what he wants. And he probably doesn't want Alexandrov more than he needs him. Look at Medvedev. They're working together. Medvedev was in the coup. Probably should have been the guy installed, but Alexandrov is more charming. So, things go wrong here in these trade deals. There is an excuse for another coup. Medvedev gets installed, Havel gets his man. Clear as day.
Knew bringing you on was the right choice. It's a tough play. But maybe we can do it.
It's all hanging on how Cherney takes this. If Cherney doesn't want to believe his eyes, or if Cherney doesn't blink, then we know he's in Havel's pocket. If Cherney blinks, takes us to Alexandrov, then we know what's going on. But there's going to be a political firestorm internally and externally when we push this, because someone on their side's going to leak it. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, I mean, they'll get wind of it, regardless of whether Cherney will squeak. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. We like cut to the next day, and we'll be at the delegation mid-morning after kind of a reaffirmation of the introductions and stuff like that. You're all present, all in position, doing your thing. And Madeline Dixon presents the folder that Sherlock created of the situation he's concocted. She, presents a little bit of what she thinks might be the cover-up, but that this is an intelligence report that she is willing to share so that they can really establish the relationship going forward. Cherney is flicking through this and looks at fair disbelief at what he's seeing. Madeline looks over to you, Sherlock, as an invitation to speak up and give this report some weight.
Now, I would like to give you some context. Doing this did not come easily, but given how stunned and offended you were yesterday, it meant that something was going on. And since there's a sincere desire for these talks to go well, a number of assets here in this region have been pulled out. These are genuine reports, old ones, not too long after the coup.
He's, as you're saying this, he's passing pages to a counterpart to his right, and he's also looking at these things and it's like kind of measuring it and I can figure it out.
So, again, these are hard to stomach. This is part of the reason why there was this insistence on our end, because we had these. But we also know that this is a hard pill to swallow. We did not realize that this was not known by you and the government, considering the individuals involved. But given the sincerity of your response, it forced a number of hands to present this information so that we can be honest with one another.
I do not know this is happening. I do not know this report. He starts speaking a lot in Russian to his side. Someone's got a translation algorithm, right, Susie?
Op has the ones in his glasses.
Op's got the translation algorithm in his glasses.
Yep.
You get this. Then you get this slow feed of English, or the language you choose, from the Russian, and it's a genuine conversation of what is this? Can we identify these people? What's the district? They're trying to scrabble to figure out where this happened, who this happened to, what this report shows. From what you can see, from what you can all see, this looks like a fairly, genuine bit. Like they're looking at this report and they're like, this is the first time they're seeing this kind of information.
Now, this could be old history, given that this is an old report, happened shortly after sanctions were first issued. After that first of a series of scandals with your interior minister. Now, it seems as though your people were hurting and that they came to have redress, but somebody did not want a hubbub. We are not going to assume precisely how far this goes up because we are doing all of this in good faith. And we all want what is best for all of us here. People need access to media. This is part of the reason that's on the table. Because this modern age, that being quiet isn't normal. And it also isn't healthy.
I mean, they're shocked. And after kind of a bit of chaos on their side of the table, again in Russian, they're just scrabbling to try and figure out what this is. You can see just a little bead of sweat dripping down Journey's side of his temple. And he kind of takes off his glasses. You see his hand just shakes a little bit, and he says, "I would ask for recess. We must investigate."
By all means, take your time.
And then you get a quiet ping, kind of push notification from Alfred Sherlock. And Op, you have a waiting notification for you in your glasses from your YouTuber friend, from your vlogger friend. Athrena gets a you've gone live notification from her account. And checking your devices, you can see this report has gone live almost to the minute that these negotiations have kind of halted for the day, and basically it's going to be an extended lunch. And over the course of the next hour, you're able to see how this goes viral. You're able to see the view count just go up, and the hits start to take off. Athrena, can you roll for me? Again, it's one of those borderline espionage infotech checks, but make a roll for me on that one.
All right, let's go. 15.
You see that start to disseminate, and then from and make this bullshitty pseudo-y techie stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
The way that it starts to go viral, you can almost imagine that there is a kind of those little diagrams where it goes to this person, then this person, then it kind of spreads and spreads.
Mm-hmm.
You in that sense, you almost start to see little blockers and containers start to stop the viral spread of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not quite sure what that algorithm is, what that action is, but you can start to see a kind of algorithmic, maybe AI or human action to stop the spread of this story.
Okay, that's cool. I can see the pattern, as it were, as they mentioned earlier. I can see that happen. Okay, requires further investigation, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah.
Radical.
Later that afternoon, during the return of the delegation, Cherney's deputy is standing in, and it is essentially a very kind of formalities-based afternoon, a very dull afternoon, and with no real progress, no real discussion going on. But Nix, you receive a message on your Hex device. Or do you? You gave what's the face your like a card, didn't you? With a way to contact you, or just with a kind of instruction?
Time and place.
Time and place. Okay.
It can be wherever you want to put it.
Okay. Okay. So you head over to I mean, it can be up to you. It could be like a bar, or a little cafe, or something.
Yeah.
Even a restaurant if you want it to be maybe a little bit more kind of formal.
Bar is probably less obviously formal, like intentional, the better. And so, I think she's going to get back into one of not the tourists, but another like just like a casual cover. She's not going to be in her aid guise at this moment.
Sure. And as you head up to the bar, you make your way in one of these covers, and you take your place in the scene. Good vigilant points, although all the kind of all the stuff you're looking for. But you wait. And you wait a bit longer. And a little bit after you think you're being stood up, a tall man walks in. Black hair. Kind of gelled, slicked back a little bit. But short length. He wears like a dark kind of sports jacket. A black, a little bit kind of puffy, and then and just jeans. But he walks in, and he obviously looks around, and then kind of takes a second glance at you, and then starts walking towards you.
She's not going to. She's gonna act like she doesn't. This isn't something necessarily that she's like worried about, but she's going to just have her knife easy access if case anything. She's gonna wait and see how this goes.
Mm-hmm. He walks straight up to you, and sitting down at the table opposite you, he looks you in the face and says, "Who are you?"
That's rude to come up to a lady and not introduce yourself. Who are you? Why are you here?
First, you pick this time and place to meet. Then, the story breaks. Causes lots of trouble.
Oh, what story?
About the farming family gone missing.
She'll give a confused look. Like, oh, I'm here on business. I don't care.
Are you?
Like I said, I'm here for business. And certainly wasn't here to meet you, so unless you tell me what you're doing, I would politely like you to leave.
I will leave with you. It's that point that he flips the table, and there's like a kind of shock at the bar. A couple of drinks drop. People gasp around you, and that is the second we will pick up next week.
Things have gone wrong.
Things have gone.
Maybe not quite as wrong in the way that you expect.
I feel like I'm already reloading my shotgun. Shame.
Like, this is the person. This is.
It's time for a war crime.
Multiple, maybe. Let's show.
Clip it. That's a GIF if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, for sure. But so this can be. What I'll do is I'll frame this scene as being within the half mile. You can get a little drone out there if you want, like a mini drone strike. But like, you can get a drone out there if you like. I think Nyx has picked a place that's easy to access, isn't too conspicuous, but near the embassy kind of thing. All right. Cool. All right. I have to write this down before, because I was just kind of riffing before I forget for next week. What's the name?
I feel so guilty right now.
About.
Everything.
That was such a harsh move, man.
No, this is.
All I know is that it's time for a war crime.
I love it though. It was like, we know these bitches are shady. We don't exactly have like concrete evidence because of the way they operate. We'll just invent some.
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
Pretty sure it wouldn't be the first time.
I unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to put it, know a number of historians and political scientists, and I spent a good part of this week just talking to them about this sort of scenario.
Wow.
And getting their feedback, and it's like, no, this scenario actually came up. What happens if they're actually you come up with nothing?
Yeah.
Well, do you want the historical or do you want the modern parlance?
Yeah.
I went with the historical. You make something up.
Yeah. God. Wow. All right. I still got the juicy music playing. Let me finish that off. All right, friends. That was our stream for tonight. Thank you so much. I'm being a little bit quiet so that my wife doesn't kill me. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks to the few of you that are joining us tonight, and thank you guys for playing. It's always a joy, even though it's kind of it's cool and spy and kind of slow paced and stuff. But we're gonna get a little ruck next week for sure, and then we'll try and figure out how we unspin this a little bit. But let's go around. Let's have a chat and let people know where they can find you and all that kind of cool stuff while I line up a raid and stuff like that. Noir, have a chat to us, man. What are you up to? What do you wanna direct us towards this week? Your finale, obviously.
I want to direct you towards Black Cat Gaming next Wednesday because it's about to be time for a war crime. I should probably stop enjoying that so much. I can't help myself. Tomorrow is going to be the finale of Lonely Throne. So after this stream, I'm going to start a rerun on the previous 3 episodes so you can get yourself all caught up. And join us for the finale. After the finale, we'll have a little bit of a quick Q&A and start discussing what plans we have for the campaign.
Nice.
After that, so Entanglement was going to come back on Unmade Gaming due to everything. We've decided to cancel so people can get a breather. I'm actually gonna talk with the cast and see if we might cancel Lonely Thrones just because it's a lot right now. There's a domestic terrorist insurrected the nation's capital. That's a thing that I got to live to see. On Friday, On Friday, we might do Bloody Portrait. Who knows what Friday will look like? On Saturday, we do have. I can actually give the guest list for everybody for Morning Ritual. So on Friday, I'll be on Saturday over on Critical Misses. We have Morning Ritual, our morning talk show. Our guest for this week is going to be the Femsplain podcast with Super Dylan and Avalon, or Diana, the creator of the Neverland 5e expansion. On the 16th, we have BD Walters. On the 23rd, we have Abria or Quiddy. And on the 30th, we have Honey. So check us out at Morning Ritual. People like us. I don't know why. On Sunday, I'm not doing anything. I think I'll sleep. And Monday, nothing on Monday. Tuesday, Degrees of Madness. And Wednesday, Warcraft.
So freaking busy, man. So freaking busy.
Oh yeah, Tuesday evenings is Second City Saviors. So I have 2 on Tuesday. Not important, but that's me.
Nice.
Stab at the end of the Republic.
Oh my god. All right. Susie, can you top that?
I can't. How am I supposed to follow that? Like, fuck.
No idea.
So for me, tomorrow and Friday, I'm back playing Cowboy Dollies. It's a new year. I'm on a new server. And tomorrow, I'm bringing out Abigail, now known as Mrs. Black, into a new version of the world. And then on Friday, I'm bringing out my new character, who is a painter in the style of the Hudson River Valley painters. So we're going to go take her to the countryside. We're going to draw up the scenery. We're going to paint it on Photoshop. And hopefully it's not going to be an unmitigated disaster and my PC won't explode. So it's going to be a combo game stream, art stream. So we'll see how that goes. And then next week, I'm back on my own channel, Monday, Tuesday with Bloodborne again. We're gonna, I've got the DLC now. I get to go fight Lady Maria and, gush how much she's my wife while she's killing me over and over and over again. And then the finale of The Dark Eye on WebDM will be happening on Tuesday. And then back here for War Crimes,
I guess.
Warcraft!
I
do have to say, Black Cat's Gaming official position is we do not support war crimes in any shape or manner.
There is actually a sidebar about I think it's not the Geneva Convention, but it's the convention about chemical warfare, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
send me to The Hague, baby.
maybe.
Oh my god.
Maybe.
Anyway. That's me. Thanks.
Oof. Okay. Good fun. Pope, over to you, my friend.
Hey, everybody. Pope here. Pope World Bill on Twitter, Pope World Bill on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams and regret all of my choices. Sometimes when you research American history, you come up with all the worst stuff, and you just have to use it. Putting in context very much the world that we are dealing with today. That's for future me. But if you want to see more of this ridiculous face, you get your opportunities. This Sunday over on Matt F7's channel, 9:30 Eastern, we get down with the neon over on Masked Sunset City with some youthful heroics. And that show runs every other Sunday. So the Sunday where that wouldn't be happening, over on Colonomicon's channel, we are getting ready for some heavy metal role play in Morkborg.
Oh my god! Wow!
The One Shot Sunday.
Yeah.
Purchases have been made. I have gotten new headphones. Nice. I have gotten beard dye. I have gotten new nail polish, and a hat. So if you want to see me try and get down with my maximum goth self, tune in a week from Sunday over on Colonomicon. There are other things in the works I can't quite talk about right now, but be back here every Wednesday. Follow Black Cats for these wonderful people and the trouble I get them into.
That's fair. Thanks so much, man. And Shauna, how are you doing, friend? And what are you up to? Where can we find you?
Good. Yeah, I can't wait for. Oh, this is gonna be just start off with trouble. Also, remember that Nick didn't start this. This man flipped the table.
No. You
Whatever happens next is not her fault.
Yeah. I also low-key wanted a bit of a scrap. It was, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, better her than anybody else, it seems.
Yeah.
But I'm Sean Flying Source on Twitter, where I have all my art and the games I play. Art that I did for this for the spy game here.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff.
I am hoping to do the two pistol thing at some point. We shall see.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, all my game stuff is actually starting up this week and next week. So like on Saturdays, it's coming back from break for our Scion game, Birth of the New Gods, where we are in the lair of wolfmen, and most of us are in no way prepared. We just walked into this and like, what's this? It's just an altar. It's like, yep.
Standard tabletop.
And
just walk in, figure it out.
My characters cannot fight worth a damn, so we shall see.
Yeah.
And next Wednesday after this at 6 p.m. EST after this lovely game, it's next Wednesday. It's the season 2 premiere of Embers in the Ashes, our Blades in the Dark game, where I get to play my lovely spider, Miss Corbin, and I'm very excited. She is the scariest, meanest character I've played. All the party is just like frightened of her, and I got a costume ready, so I'm very excited for that.
Nice. Cool. All right. Be sure to check that out, and definitely check out Shauna's art as well. It is phenomenal. All right. Well, as for me, I am Sam, otherwise known as around the internet at RPG Webby, kind of Twitter, occasionally Reddit for my sins. I am one part of Black Cats Gaming, little here tabletop publisher. We made this game, and it's coming out soon, being printed right now. It's all good. And then by day, as I'm back in the office, now that we're all working remotely, and Modifius Entertainment. We make all sorts of tabletop games, from your kind of miniatures games like Fallout, Wasteland Warfare, and Elder Scrolls, Call to Arms, to what I've done most was the RPG side of things, like Star Trek Adventures, and all the kind of cool things you see on my shelf here with the thing. It's all cool. And yeah, I'm very proud of that kind of stuff. So head over to modifius.net if you want to support kind of me indirectly, but if you want to support us more directly, me and Susie in that, head over to blackcatsgaming.com or blackcatsgamingshop.com, and yeah, you can check this here game out and buy it, hopefully, please. Thanks. Yeah, that's about it. I think we've got some. I was checking out some D&D shows just now. There's a little UK group that are playing Icewind Dale at the moment, first little playthrough, so I'm going to try and, where's the username, hang on, little Control Alt Delete kind of thing, so I'm going to throw that out there. So it's raid, right, / right, Susie? Yeah, I'm a streamer, I know what I'm doing, I should have typed this whilst you were all chatting. But yeah, cool. All right, thanks so much, friends, and stick around probably for the next 10 minutes, because they'll only be streaming for the next few minutes probably, because they're in the UK. But check out Control Alt Delete. They're playing D&D. Should be fun. See you later, folks. Bye.
Bye.
Keep waving for 9 seconds because the raid's not done. No, please. No, please.
That's the raid call.
See you later, friends. Yeah, don't say that in the raid. Goodbye.